President Trump has forced General Motors to make ventilators by citing the defense production laws. The world is now moving over to a Keynesian book force of concentrating on quantities and rather than prices. Government has become the lender of the last resort, income provider, and also consumer of the last resort. When such things happen, then extraordinary things happen. This was first started during World War II, and the effects lasted much longer than what we thought. These are ready-made and solutions given by a Keynesian playbook. But normally in government, once something sets in, it continues for decades. We believe that World War II did not affect India, but most of India's problems in the socialist economy came from the rationing of World War II. In 1940, we introduced food rationing to cover 700 towns. That started the shortages. The administered food purchase program, what is today known as the minimum support price, was then started by the British government. It wanted to buy the excess grains from the farmers to restrain them from profiteering by buying at administered prices. Administered prices in sugar and rice continue even today, 60 years from now. Rent control in India was imposed to stop rising rents for British soldiers and other expatriates in Bombay, and that spread all over the country. And even today, the Rent Control Act is alive and kicking. The Industrial Disputes Act was passed in 1946, end of 46, early as 47, and most of India's manufacturing problems have come from that. Not only that, in 1957, India faced a major balance of payment crisis. So, in an effort not to, instead of devaluing the rupee freely and allowing India to become an open global market, the government decided to freeze import control, thinking restraining quantities of import would solve India's problem, thinking that restricting imports would solve India's problem, keeping the rupee artificially high. That is the foundation of our socialist past. These problems lasted till 1980. And with great trouble, we unwound it in 1991. The government, even before corona pandemic, is slowly getting protectionist and raising customs duties to make import of goods very difficult. We are indeed returning to our socialist past. The third thing that we started in 1950s was the issue of ad hoc treasury bills. Basically, when government ran out of money, it did quantitative easing by giving money to the government account and government giving treasury bills. Basically, the government was monetizing deficit. This was started as an agreement between middle-level bureaucracies in the Reserve Bank and the Finance Ministry. This morphed into a regular arrangement and was finally put to rest by C. Rangarajan and Manmohan Singh in 1997. If the government, under pressure, decides to monetize deficit now, this may not lead to inflation immediately because narrow velocity of money cannot rotate fast. But once this pandemic is over, the excess money created will move all around the place, create artificial shortages, and create a big inflation. Keynes suggested that the government borrow and spend in times of trouble. But Keynes also said when there is good times and surplus is available, we tax more and pay down debt. The politicians have taken half of Keynes' advice, which is easy to follow, borrow and spend, and forgetting the other half of raising taxes and paying down debt. This is what caused India's problems, and this is what caused world's problems. Rent control, labor laws, and buying food articles in administered prices are the gifts of World War II when the world was in a big crisis, and these steps were necessary to handle a crisis. The crisis got over. The governments forgot to retrace these laws, and 3 or 4 generations after that have paid the price. So whatever decisions we may take today have to be thought carefully and reversed at once. For if you don't reverse at once, India's bad habits will creep and our economy will go back 30-40 years. Thank you for watching Berich. If you like this video, kindly share it with your friends and relatives. If you have subscribed to my channel and turned on the bell notification, kindly urge your friends to do so. A WhatsApp number is given below. You can order my books by sending a message on that. You could also buy my books on Kindle. The comment sections are open below for your comments. If you need to get in touch with me, please contact me at berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for supporting Berich.